Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here today. Now today, first of all, we are celebrating a brand new year. So I'm doing the 2018 overview video for all of the signs. So happy new year to everybody watching. Know that I'm sending you all just positive energy, positive thoughts, lots of wishes for a wonderful year full of many wonderful things. For my returning viewers, thank you for sticking with me throughout the past year. I'm very happy to have you here. And for new viewers, I'm happy that you found me here. And hopefully, if you enjoy the readings, you'll decide to like and possibly subscribe as well. And that way you'll be notified when I upload new videos throughout the year. Okay, so the reading that I'm doing today, it's an overview, okay? So it's a month-by-month overview of the upcoming year of 2018. So for the main reading, I'll be choosing one card for each month from the Crystal Visions Tarot deck, okay? And then I divide the year into quarters, and then I pick one additional card from the Shadowscapes Tarot deck as sort of an overall energy for that quarter, for those 3 months. Then in the middle of the spread, you will see there will be an overall, one card for the overall energy for the year. And then I will also pick oracle cards. And I'm not exactly sure which ones I will be using, but more than likely I will be pulling from either the Akashic Tarot, the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, or the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. Okay, or maybe all 3 of them. We'll see how the readings go. For those of you who are interested in getting a personal reading, a lot of people do, they like to get a reading at the beginning of the year to kind of give them an overview of what will be going on in their particular, or in their life, right, based on their particular circumstances. If you are interested, you can just send me an email at changingphasestarot@gmail.com, or you could take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com. There you'll find information about the types of videos that I offer, the types of readings and pricing for the readings. Okay, so I will be getting into the reading now. I'll stop talking and see you all in 1 second for the shuffle. Bye for now. Hi Pisces, I hope you're doing well. I'm here today to do your 2018 overview. I'll lower the camera in 1 second and you'll see that I already have the cards laid out. I've done that just really to save time because my videos seem to be running a little longer for this overview reading. So I've pulled one card for each month of the year. And then I also separated the months into quarters, and then I have a clarifier for each quarter. And then at the middle of the reading, you'll see there's one additional card, so a 13th card for the overall energy for the entire year. And then I also have 3 oracle cards that I'll get into at the end of the reading that really are just, they're additional messages to tie in with the overall message for 2018 for you Pisces. Okay. So I'm not going to do a long introduction because I already did the separate introduction for all of the signs. So let's get into the reading. Let me put this down so you can see it. Okay. So at the center of your reading, couldn't ask for a nicer card to have. You have the Major Arcana, number 17, the Star card. And the clarifier, the card that you have accompanying the Star card, is the 10 of Cups. So it looks as if it's going to be a wonderful year for you. The Star card is the Major Arcana that has to do with basically setting your intentions, putting those intentions out into the world, and then just trusting, right, having hope, trusting in the universe to make those things come true, right? So it's about wishing upon a star, having your dreams come true. So it looks as if it's going to be a year that is going to bring in many wonderful things for you. But it also is, the Star card also has to do with the need to set intentions, right? And it's important what we put out into the universe, what we wish for, so also pay attention to your thoughts, to, what you put out into the universe, because it's kind of, we'll get back what we put out or what we asked for. But then with the Ten of Cups card, which is, this is sort of the ultimate happy family. It's a card that speaks of harmony. It's a card that speaks of just overall success and happiness being granted, and just generally feeling as if life is wonderful. So, I think I should just stop your reading right now, because that's the overall energy. That looks like it's wonderful. But let's go through everything here. So beginning with, I'll show you the 3 cards together for the quarter, and then the clarifier, and then I'll break, the cards down and kind of go through each month. So you begin the year with the Hermit card, Major Arcana. Oh yeah, just another note. All of the signs that I have read for so far have been getting a lot of Major Arcana cards and a lot of repeating cards. So for example, the cards that I pull here as clarifiers, they tend to be in the main reading as well. So lots of repeated messages. And when that happens in a reading, it just really emphasizes or reemphasizes the importance of the message of that particular card for the sign. So you'll see that, and I'll point it out when we get to it. So January, the Hermit. February, you have the 8 of Pentacles. And March, you have Major Arcana, Temperance, number 14 of the Major Arcana. And the clarifier or overall energy for the first quarter of the year, you have the 4 of Swords. Okay. So, with the Hermit card at the beginning of the year, you might be kind of retreating. Maybe as you enter into this new year, you might be spending some time alone, kind of retreating from the world, right, in order to gain a deeper understanding of something. You could be putting projects on hold. You could be reevaluating, your next steps as you begin this new year. And, for many people, New Year's, the new year is a time to kind of, reevaluate our lives, see if, if we're heading in the right direction, see if there needs to be a course change, that type of thing. So the Hermit is really all about gaining a deeper perspective and understanding and reevaluating things. And it's kind of echoed here with the card for March, and also the 4 of Swords card, because the Temperance card, I know I've skipped over this. I'll come back to February. But the card for March, the Temperance card, it's also a card that has to do with balance, but there's also a waiting aspect to this card as well, right? And moderation, possibly, a delay in something, or waiting for divine timing to happen for something. But it's also moderation. You see that the woman on the card here, she is mixing together. She has 1 chalice of water, 1 chalice of fire, and she's combining them at the perfect, ratio here, at just the right balance. Because if she puts in too much water, she'll put out the fire. But by combining them, at the exact or at the rate that they need to be combined, that perfect balance and combination of the two, she creates a beautiful rainbow. And you can see there's a rainbow coming out. So again, a need for balance. And then with the 4 of Swords card, this is a card of also taking time out, but it has to do with, sometimes we think of it as going on vacation, or it's the rest and recuperation, but it's also a card of reflection and withdrawal, needing to kind of recharge your body, recharge your mind in order to move forward. Sometimes we need to take a step back from a particular situation to kind of, like I was saying about a course redirect, that type of thing, to maybe evaluate, if we're going in the right direction, if this has to do with a relationship, is this really the relationship that we want to be in for the rest of the year? Or is our relationship going the way that we would really like it to go? If this is in the career sector, Is your job really fulfilling? Is it bringing you everything that you really, want from a job? So again, it's a time of withdrawing and, going within. So you have a lot of that energy going on here in the first 3 months of the year. In addition to the card that you have for February, which is the Eight of Pentacles, which is a card of working hard, perfecting your trade. It's sometimes called the Apprentice card in the tarot, and it's Pentacles, which has to do with it's Earth energy. So it has to do with material or things that manifest in the material realm, the tangible things that we can touch and feel. So it's the money that we are paid from the work that we do. Sometimes it's associated with study, education. And the Eight, it's called the Apprentice card because it's all about, you really working hard to master a skill, you being very willing and open to learn something. If this is you in your job, this is you just working very hard to sort of really master or, become the best that you can at whatever it is you're doing. This could be you beginning, or taking up a new hobby or a new project, something like that. It's a new creative project that you really have to, you have to learn, and you have to be open to learn in order to do whatever this is. But there's a definite message of introspection and reevaluating things before you move on. So I would say that the first quarter of the year is really all about, taking time out and reevaluating. As we move into March, April, and May, the energies change here, okay? And I'll show you. We have for March, the Four of Pentacles. For April, I'm sorry, this is April. I said the wrong one. This is March. Okay, I apologize. This is April, the Four of Pentacles. May, the Nine of Swords. And June, the Chariot. Okay, this is a major arcana, number 7 of the major arcana. And the card that came out as the clarifier for these 3 months, you have the Six of Swords. So more swords energy here. You have the Four of Swords over here, Six of energy going along with this quarter. And what I see it happening in these 3 months, the second quarter of the year, you start off in April with this Four of Pentacles, which is sometimes it's referred to as being the miser card. It's kind of, again, it's more earth energy, Pentacles energy, but it's almost, you see how the woman is, yes, she has these 4 coins, so that's, that's good. She seems to have some type of financial stability going on here, but we have to be careful because sometimes when you try to hold on too tightly to something, to your possessions, and really, kind of obsess over that, even though careful planning is, that's something good for you to do, and it's good to want to hold on to what is yours and what you've worked hard to get. The negative side of this card is that there's a danger of becoming too possessive and too controlling and too unwilling to share, right? To share of your belongings. Obsessing over losing them. So, again, if we look at the card from the prior month here from March, balance, there's balance needed. Yes, obviously we all need to try to save as much as possible and, and be careful with our finances, but we don't want to run the risk of going the opposite direction and turning into that, that Uncle Scrooge kind of energy here, wanting to hold on to it and not willing to share. But it does seem as if there's something to do with money, finances, and then, your job, your career, and then wanting to possibly make a change. And I feel as though this is, with the Nine of Swords card in the month of May, the Nine of Swords is sometimes referred to as the nightmare card. It's not a wonderful card to have, but it's air energy. So these are our thoughts, so that it's not real, right? These are just sometimes those repetitive thoughts that we go over and over in our mind, and they tend to keep us up at night. That's why it's referred to as the nightmare card, because you can't sleep, because you're obsessing over something. So there's definitely something to do with obsessing, and I feel as if it's over either a job or, you know, your finances, career. But by the time you get to June, so, you know, it looks as if there might be two a little bit difficult months going on here, or, you know, I would say May more so than April. But by June, you just, you know, you're charging ahead here and you are taking control of the situation and you are moving on. And I feel as though this could be you leaving a job. This could be you actually physically getting up and moving somewhere. And I say that as well. One, because of the Chariot card, because the Chariot is all about, it's a card of victory, it's a card of triumph, it's a card of forward motion, of you taking the reins. You see here the woman, she's in complete control of the two horses here. We have the, you know, the yin and yang. That's what the white and the black horse represents here. So she's dominating both of them, and she's in control, and she is just charging ahead. And she's made that decision. So whatever you were a little bit unsure of back here, you know, in the first quarter, and trying to figure out, and maybe it was a little difficult, you know, and it was worrying for you, with the Six of Swords as the overall energy for these 3 months, I feel as if you're just finally, you know, you're turning your back on something from the past that no longer serves you, and you are moving ahead quite quickly with the Chariot card into something that's going to bring you more happiness. You're going to feel more at ease. You see how the woman, you know, there are all these ravens kind of looming beneath her, but she looks like she's sleeping, right? She's just trusting in this, whatever this forward motion is. And she's also, you know, she's going forward, right? She's flying forward. And she's looking very at ease, very calm, very peaceful with whatever this, you know, this moving ahead is. So with the Chariot card, definitely I feel that, you know, by the middle of the year, you are taking control and you are moving on here. And again, this can play out in many different ways for people watching the videos. I mean, these are general, you know, and it's important to watch, for you Pisces watching your sun sign, it's important for you to also try to watch your rising sign video and your moon sign video. That way you will really get a better overall view of what's coming up during the upcoming year for you. But the Chariot, going back to the Chariot, this is a very good card. It's a card of self-confidence. It's a card of success, a card of control, of feeling very self-assured. Just, you know, and you taking control of the reins here and charging forward. And I do get that. I feel as though, you know, there's this waiting and kind of uncertainty happening in this first quarter. Second quarter, it's a little bit challenging, but it's when you really take off. And that brings us to the last 3 months, the last 6 months of the year. So for July, and so from this point onwards, we have a completely different energy, right? You'll see when I show you the cards, it's completely different energy from the first part of the year. So, you know, I think that this overall energy here of the Star card and the Ten of Cups, I feel it's having your wishes come through, but it's not going to be an overnight kind of thing. You know, I believe that there's a little bit of soul searching that goes on, you know, within the first and second quarter to get you to this point. So for July, you have the Queen of Cups. For August, Major Arcana, the Lovers. It's number 6 of the Major Arcana. And for September, you have another Major Arcana, number 5, the Hierophant. And the overall energy for those 3 months, you have a repeating card, the same card that you have as the overall energy for the year, Major Arcana, the Star card. So, looks as if, you know, this third quarter is going to be very, very beautiful. It's very warm, you know, loving energy surrounding these 3 months, because you begin with this Queen of Cups. This could be you, right? And I feel as if it's more your energy here, because obviously you are a water sign. This would typically be an older female water sign. So either a Pisces like yourself, or it could be a Cancer or Scorpio. And the Queen of Cups is an extremely loving individual. She's, she's kind of, if you think of her as a mother, she's that warm, caring, nurturing mother figure. As a wife, she's a very loving person. She wants to kind of take care of everybody. She's very compassionate and fair. So if this isn't you, this might be, somebody that you're dealing with during that month who has or those qualities. Which brings you to the Lovers card in the next month, in September. No, in August, I'm sorry. And then September, the Hierophant. So the Lovers card is, well, it's, well, first of all, it's about partnership. I know that it's kind of hard not to associate it with romantic relationships because it is the Lovers card. But we have to remember that, the Lovers card, it is about a strong connection with another person. Okay, so doesn't necessarily have to be romantic in nature. This could be, a partnership, could be you finding a very strong connection with another person that you partner up with on a collaborative project or something along those lines. But it's a very, it's a deep kind of it's a strong connection. So if it's a friendship, it's a very deep friendship, very trustworthy person, that you feel this soul connection with that person. But I mean, a lot of time, most of the time when you see the Lovers, you do associate it with, your soulmate, or that soulmate connection with another person. And you see on this card, they're connected. They have the doves up above, and you see how they're connected here, with the ties, like the doves are kind of tying them up together there, which, this can symbolize like a marriage ceremony, the two people coming together here. And with the Hierophant in the next month, we also associate the Hierophant with religious ceremonies, right? Religious tradition, order, kind of those, all of those traditions in society, the societal norms. That's usually what the Hierophant represents. Sometimes we think of it having to do with, like large institutions like banks or the government or the court system. But he definitely also, is very much tied to churches. And so with the Lovers card followed by the Hierophant, there's a possibility that some of you out there watching might be taking that relationship to the next level, right? If you're already in a relationship with somebody, you could be getting married. And especially with the Star card, it's kind of like having all of your wishes coming true here. So there could definitely be, could be an engagement, right? This moving forward here, this could be you leaving something in the past behind and then deciding to move on with this relationship, move forward with this relationship. This could be leaving something in the past, beginning a completely new cycle and meeting this love, this soulmate connection here. Could be that as well. Could play out in many different ways, but a very loving and, heartfelt kind of energy surrounding that quarter of the year. And as you move into the last 3 months, we have 2 major arcanas followed by the 10 of Cups, which is another repeater because that was the clarifier from the beginning of the reading. So you have for October the High Priestess, major arcana, followed by November, Judgment, card 20 of the major arcana. And for December, leaving 2018 with this 10 of Cups card, which is why I said that, when this card came out, I felt as if, this 10 of Cups is not going to happen kind of overnight, which is why I believe that it shows up in the reading as the last month of the year. It's kind of like, yes, it's a year that you're going to get everything that you've dreamed of having, right? And you're having your wishes come true. But But that's interesting. You see that the two cards that came out in the middle, they show up as the clarifiers, right? Or one is a clarifier for the months of July, August, September, and then the other one is the outbound energy for the year. So, it does seem as if this is, it's going to happen, but there's a lot that you have to get through during the first 6 months in order for you to reach this. This 10 of Cups at the end of the year. And then the clarifier for the last 3 months, you have the 3 of Cups, which again, this is a card of celebration. The 3 of Cups usually speaks of, it can be, like a wedding celebration, which, after the previous months, I mean, there could very well be a wedding for some of you out there. But it's definitely a time to celebrate with others, spend time with other people, rejoice with other people. But it can also be the celebration that you would typically associate with a wedding, a wedding celebration. This won't be for everybody listening, so this could just be as you're coming into the last 3 months of the year. Those are 3 months where usually we spend more time with friends or families. It's the holiday season, so it could just be a time of, increased social invitations, possibly just going out with groups of friends, could be finding out or hearing news of a pregnancy or a birth. It's overall just good fortune and connecting with other people. So it could be that as well. But going back to the months here, so October, you have the High Priestess, and she is a very intuitive person. And so this might be you in the month of October, really trusting in whatever messages you're getting from your higher self, right? She really relies on her intuition to guide her, right? She to kind of find that deeper meaning or to figure out things about a certain situation. She really, she kind of she symbolizes intuition and everything that is in the unseen realm. And a lot of times when we have the High Priestess card, it has to do with us receiving messages, but messages that are, in an uncommon format. For example, you might be receiving messages in your dreams. You might be, there might be signs or synchronicities, repeating numbers, repeating messages with songs, things like that. So pay attention to that during the month of October, because it's leading up to, it seems as if this is leading up to the Judgment card, which is for the month of November, which is a pretty significant card, right? The Judgment card is, it's the second to last of the major arcana cards. And it comes, right before the World card, which is the culmination, the ending of the full cycle in the major tarot. So the Judgment card has to do with, it's about rebirth, right? It's about this leaving the past behind, making amends, moving forward. There might be a difficult decision involved or some type of judgment call or fresh start. But it's important to remember that, through this death or this change or this ending comes new life and comes a higher calling. And that's just, really backed up here by the card that you have for December, which is the 10 of Cups, which is all about, complete happiness, just you feeling that you couldn't be happier, you have everything that you could possibly wish for. It's sometimes referred to as the happy home and family card. It's a card of peace and joy and happiness and family, and it's the culmination as well. So the relationship that began with the 2 of Cups, which is the minor arcana version of the Lovers card, and you do have, the major arcana version of that, it's the culmination of that, So, and with the two people coming together here, right, with the Lovers card, you see that in this last card, there's a child here. And I did say something about with the 3 of Cups, this birth. So there might be some type of news of pregnancy coming up, because the 10 of cards is it's the mother with the father and the baby, and so this happy families card. So It seems like a very beautiful way to end the year. Okay, let's take a look here. You have 3 cards for the Oracle messages. The first one is from the Akashic Tarot deck, and it's the One of Forces, and the card is called the Akashic Field. The second card from the Sacred Traveler deck is Watching Clouds, and it says, lie back, rest, and relax. And the last card from the Life Purpose deck by Doreen Virtue, you have Career Change. You're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. And it's interesting because we have at the top of this lighthouse here, you see there's looks like a dove, but there's also these stars, which goes along with your star card, which is your overall energy. And then here, remember, I was also talking about some type of career change possibly going on here, a movement forward with the Chariot card. So there could be a change in career coming in for many of you watching, or at least some of you watching this video. So let me read you. I like to read the entire description from the guidance book for these cards, because I think that it gives a more complete description of each of the cards. Now, the One of Forces, this card, it's a bit different. It's from the Akashic Tarot deck, and for those of you who have watched some of my daily tarot readings, I've been using these throughout the month of December, and it's a little bit different. It's called a tarot deck, but it really isn't. It doesn't have as many cards as a traditional tarot deck. It only has 62. And a lot of the meanings are very different. So the One of Forces, right, or Ace of Forces, the Suit of Forces, it's a little bit different. We could think of it as, the suit of air in the, or swords in the traditional deck, because it's the suit that deals with energy. You see, it's hard to tie it to. I would say that really maybe it would have more to do with fire and wands, because it's all about energy and creative forces. So it would go more with wands. They call it the Suit of Forces, but it's about energy and how energy attracts energy. Okay, so the One of Forces says, like the Akashic Field, the Aurora Borealis flows with energy and brilliance as charged particles from the sun interact with atoms in the Earth's atmosphere. And that's what we see portrayed here, right? I'll hold it up so you can see it. The 93 million miles from the sun to the Earth is nothing compared to the limitless consciousness of the Akashic Field. All information, power, energy, and experiences vibrate within the realm of unending truth and possibility, and every bit of it can be yours. Receiving this card tells you that amazing opportunities abound at this time. You can increase and accelerate the experience by opening the doors to the Akashic records. Your life force energy resonates with universal synchronicity now. So you can explore the records and receive exactly the information that you need and the energy that can help. Engage in this pursuit with a conscious focus. Write your intentions and ask for inspiration. Meditate on the Akashic Field and visualize your goals. The universe is ready and willing to align with your heartfelt desires, and now is the time to make them happen. And the Akashic Force message for this card says, close your eyes and imagine yourself entering the boundless and brilliant Akashic Field. It's almost as if you're stepping upon the Milky Way, and all its stars roll out before you, offering their light and power. Feel this profound force igniting your dreams and lighting your way. So this would be, it's in the traditional tarot, we could think of it as the Ace of Wands, but it's all about intentions and setting those intentions and really going after it, right? And making sure that it's really aligned with your goals and what you want. And I feel that, this does, for some of you, this could really have to do with a career change. For others, obviously, we're seeing that there's more of a a relationship focus to the, at least the second part of the year for you. Okay. The second card, the Watching Clouds card. This card says, lie back, relax, put everything aside and take time to renew your energy. It's often when you totally relax that new insights and awareness can emerge. Take deep, full breaths. Put your feet up. Be present in each moment. Do nothing. Watch clouds. The answers that you seek will emerge easily, but first you need to stop all activity. Take naps. Reevaluate your life. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know there are times when the most empowering thing the traveler can do is to step off the path, stretch out, and lie on the earth to watch the clouds float by. This act is renewing and regenerating. When all the activity of the road diminishes and the traveler allows a languid relaxation to emerge, this is most often the time when the presence of spirit can be felt. This is also the time when significant signs appear. Whatever is the most relaxing to you, stretching out in a hammock, watching clouds, taking a candlelit bath, or walking on the seashore, do it, and the challenges in your life will diminish and often simply drop away. So I think that this message goes along very well with the first 3 months of the year, and that was really coming through strongly here, right? With this time, needing to take time out, needing to focus, to rest and relax in order to gain this perspective that you need to move into the rest of the year. So I would definitely suggest for you to do that during the first 3 months. Take that time out, right? Rest, take the time, meditate, think about where you're going, what you want to accomplish, right, during the rest of the year. And the last card, career change. It says, this card comes to you as validation of your feeling that it's time to change your career. As much as you have grown tired of your present vocational track, you've also wrestled with insecurities about making the change. That really is coming up here, right? Remember I was talking about the Nine of Swords and the worry, and then you definitely make some type of decision here with the Six of Swords and the Chariot. I definitely see that coming up, more towards the middle of the year. You've worried about finances and other aspects involved with this decision. Fortunately, the angels want to let you know that they're helping and supporting you. Instead of focusing on what might happen in a negative sense, allow yourself to daydream about positive possibilities. See yourself fully immersed in a meaningful career, making a wonderful income and succeeding in all that you do. Imagine yourself waking up in the morning excited about the workday before you. These are all real possibilities if you're willing to go along with your internal guidance. The angels will guide you intuitively, one step at a time. So please don't get ahead of yourself and make sudden moves. Instead, stay fully immersed in the present and commit to doing your best. Your career change may be gradual, with you initially delving into another field on a part-time basis. It's the light at the end of the tunnel that helps you stay positive about your present moments. So yeah, I think that all three of these messages go along or tie in very nicely with the rest of your reading here, Pisces. So I do hope that you have benefited in some way from the messages today. I thank you very much for joining me. I wish you all a wonderful 2018 and look forward to reading for you throughout the year. Take care, and I'm sending you much peace, love, and light. Bye.